What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. You get me? Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. When Ghost fell, it was shot in the heart. Shot in the heart. And this is for all the guys and gals who, there's a certain heartbreak that comes when you feel like you've fallen off. And some people don't realize it, but there comes a point where, people become successful or they're on a path to success and they think and everything is going good. And then somehow ain't going as good. And all of a sudden it's like I could have swore what I was doing was working, so now it's not working anymore. And now people once said that you were, killing it. Now they're saying you washed up, you're a has-been. And you got people who get hurt by that, right? And you got people who've reached greatness, who've reached success, who've reached the mountaintop. Some for a short period of time, some for a long period of time, but they all made it. And you got people who didn't make it. And most, and you would say some attempted and some didn't attempt. Telling these people that they're no good, and now you falling off because you're not. You can be better than those people, but you're not. Some unicorn in life. Some anomaly, some successful anomaly. And the thing about it is, you don't have to be. You don't have to be. Interestingly enough, you find out that along the way, people want success, or people want to be successful. But sometimes the plan works, sometimes it doesn't work, and you figure out a different way to be successful. But because you weren't successful at this, you fell off. But you can be successful at this. And I find it, weird because at the end of the day, you're talking about people putting falling off on you. There are people who are tremendously successful that aren't as popular as they used to be. But people say you falling off because you're not that popular. But let them but the numbers don't lie. They're consistently killing it. So you got an issue. They don't. That being said, what needs to be talked about a lot of times is people believing that everything lasts forever. Everything is going to last forever. I'm never going to fall off. This run is going to last me from now to the next 20 years for the rest of my life. And a lot of times I think, and I've been around people who've been successful, and that idea that, they're going to do this forever, that's where you really fall off, is mentally. When you don't prepare for the day that you're not going to, be the number one, the hot person. There's always going to be another number one. Truth be told, it's probably better to be number two, 3 or 4 for an extended period of time than be number one for a short period of time. And the reason why I say that is because if you're never actually number one and you're always in the conversation, then you're always in the conversation. You can never fall off. People look at Jay-Z as an icon, a legend. But people forget he wasn't number one for a very long time. When he first came out, that was Tupac and Biggie. They were number one. When they passed away, I would say Puff, there's a time when Juvenile was number one, and Nelly was number one, and Eminem was number one, and DMX was number one. So through that whole stretch, there was a bunch of different guys who just had the top spot. And he was always in the conversation, always in the conversation. And then all of a sudden, bam, he becomes number one because you heard his name so many times. He came up so many times in so many conversations. It was just undeniable. You know, he had been number one, you know, on Billboard numerous, you know, record number of times. But you got to remember that he probably, you know, you could say half of those times he wasn't the biggest artist that year. You know, out of those 11, 12 number ones, he probably wasn't the biggest artist that year. But he wasn't even the biggest artist of the year when Hard Knock Life came out. It wound up being DMX that year. You know what I'm saying? So it's and 50 Cent. I forgot 50 Cent had a run. Kanye went on a run. You know what I'm saying? It moved. But the fear of falling off is the fear of somebody else telling you you're not great. Man, listen. If you've ever touched greatness, you're great forever. And that's another thing that we got to stop doing as a people. When you know, if you've been great once, you're great forever. You know, I'm gonna treat you like everybody else does. Like, this is the guy who did this, and this. Yeah, people fall off. So what? You know, but people reach success. You know what I mean? There are a lot of people who fell off, but that people don't think about, but they don't look like us. So, to me, the fear of falling off, hey man, you can always do something else. If you've been successful at one thing, you can be successful at something else. And if you fall off, then you just recreate yourself, rebrand yourself, and bounce back. That's all. But like, share, subscribe, or die. Try and catch you on the next one. Peace.